Welcome to the Alpha Male 2.0 podcast. I am Caleb Jones, and this is freedom-focused lifestyle design for men. Maximum freedom for you as a man means maximum long-term happiness, and that's actually the topic of today's podcast. Today, we're going to discuss a core concept of my entire life philosophy and a core concept of Alpha Male 2.0. And this concept bears repeating in an internet that has been Andrew Tated. So in an Andrew Tated internet, there's a lot more confusion about this. And so as often what happens with these things, we have to kind of go back to basics. And that is the concept of this. You ready? Here we go. It's very, very simple. It's very simple. Very simple yet profound. And that is this. Ready? Here it is. Happiness or control. Pick one. You can only have one. Do you want to be happy? Or do you want to be in control? You only get one of those two things. And the fantasy that many men have is that if they are in control of everything, then they will be happy, when in reality, the opposite is true. I will explain. When I talk about control, I'm talking about external control. So control over external events, external conditions, and external people. I'm not talking about control over self. So I have said to people in my personal life, I am a control freak over myself, but I literally do not give a shit what anyone else in my life does. And that's why I'm so happy. I control what I can 100% control or close to it, which is me. So I am a control freak over me. In terms of my time management, in terms of my relationship models, in terms of my business activities, in terms of my day-to-day, in terms of how I live, 5 flags, in terms of my sex life, all these things, I am a control freak over one person, and that person is me. And the reason for that is me, myself, I am the only person that I have 100% control over, okay? This is true with you as well. The only person you control 100% is you. And that's it. You don't control anybody else. And you could even make the argument that you don't 100% control yourself, because you don't. There are things that I don't 100% control over myself. If I had 100% control over myself, I would have 13% body fat right now, and I don't. So even with yourself, you don't have 100% control, but you have a lot of control. Let's say 95% control, 90% control, really depends on the person. If you're a drug addict or an alcoholic, you probably have 50% control or less. If you are a slave to your emotions and are a very reactive, angry person, you might have 60% control. But if you're a guy like me, you probably have 90 to 95% control. You'll probably never have 100% control, and that's fine. We could have a big debate over what percentage that is, but that's really not relevant to the topic of this podcast. So what I'm talking here is not control of yourself, but control over external factors, external people. So the Alpha Male 1.0, the Andrew Tate type guy, says the only way I can be happy, or at least secure, maybe not happy, is that I have to control everybody else. So all the women I date, I'm in complete control over their lives. And if they do anything I don't like, I'm going to have to go in there and correct them. All the people I work with, I'm in complete control. I'm the fucking boss. I'm the fucking man. You do what I tell you to do, or you're fucking fired. That kind of stuff. Donald Trump would be another example of an Alpha Male 1.0. All my friends, people I hang out with, they better do what I want to do at all times. And if they want to do anything else that I don't want to do, I'm going to throw a big fit, throw a big tantrum and argue and scream and say, I don't want to do that. Because I have to be in control over all external factors. This extends out to things like politics. I don't like left-wingers. I don't like feminists. I don't like woke people. So I am very upset whenever I see anything woke on the internet, and I'm going to get involved in a bunch of Twitter wars and Facebook bullshit and YouTube comment bullshit and Reddit bullshit and get really mad because I want to control everything external, including the culture of where I live, the country where I live, the government. I want control over these external factors. Here's the challenge with that. When you decide to live a lifestyle like this, you will be less happy, guaranteed. It can't be any other way. And you say, why? Well, the reason is, I know this might be a shock to you, other human beings are not robots, including women you date. I know it's a big shock. Women are not robots. Let's use a dating example, but this could be a family example. I mean, family is a huge one. My mom, my dad, my brothers, my sisters, All my extended people, my family, they need to do exactly what I want or I'm going to be really mad. And a lot of people like this in the world, a lot of people. And their family members are constantly doing things they don't like and they're constantly pissed off about their family members. These are, again, external people. But I'm going to use just the woman example because this is Alpha Male 2.0 and this is germane to the topic. But you could extend this to any other example you could think of, even your own children, especially if they're older kids. Let's talk about women you're dating. If you're going to say, I need to be in control of everything they do, so I'm going to have sex with other women and they're not going to have sex with anybody else except me. And if they do anything I don't like, I'm going to check where they are. I'm going to make sure they don't go anywhere I don't like. I'm going to make sure they don't use their money in ways I disagree with. I'm going to basically run their lives. That way I need to be controlled because I'm the man. And men need to be in control of women. That's how it works because the Bible said so, according to guys like Andrew Tate. As soon as you start quoting the Bible for your source of data, you're in trouble. But all right, a topic for another time. I've discussed this before. So if you choose a lifestyle like that, here's the question. When you tell women what to do like that, especially in romantic relationships, even if it's friend with benefits relationships, MLTRs, FBs, certainly girlfriends or wives, do women, particularly Western women, but even non-Western women, do they say, yes, master, I will do whatever you tell me to do. Thank you for being my boss and running my life and telling me what to do. And thank you for correcting me every time I do something you don't like. Thank you, oh master. Yes. Is that how women behave today? No, they're the exact opposite. Now, maybe you could make the argument the 1950s, 1800s, maybe they were kind of like that, and they kind of were, and that was true back then. Today, in the 21st century, in the collapsing Western world, today, is that how women are? No. So when you tell, listen, bitch, you're going to do whatever you're told, I'm going to tell you to this, this, and this, this, and you don't like it, tough shit, the vast majority of women are going to say, fuck you. Now, you may say, oh, Caleb, no, I met a guy once who. Or I heard Andrew Tate does this, or I heard this guy on the internet does that. And they they say, okay, and they agree. Okay, fine. Let's say you find the exception rule and she says, all right, fine, I'll do whatever you want. I'll let you fuck all these women, but I can't fuck other men. I'm going to let you run my schedule and run my life and manage my friends, and you're going to check my phone and check my social media, all these things that Alpha Male 1.0 guys tend to do. Fine. Will she always obey your orders? Again, is she a robot who will completely obey your orders forever? No, I promise you, and I know this for a fact, because I've seen many of these relationships play out in my personal life with people I know. These women will eventually start breaking the rules. Matter of fact, they will actually go in the opposite direction because they feel it's unfair to make it more fair. So usually it's the Alpha Male 1.0 girlfriends or MLTRs, what have you. These are the women who go like, fuck his brother or fuck his best friend or fuck their boss at work, because they want to make it more fair. Well, he's fucking all those girls, I'm not allowed to. Well, for a while that works. I've said before that the one-sided non-monogamy, the polygamous relationship where the man can have sex with all these women, but the women can't, I've never seen that last longer than 9 months in the Western world. 9 months. I've never seen any guy pull it off longer than 9 months. And the only time I've ever seen it, or at least 9 months where money wasn't involved. Well, what about Andrew Tate? Andrew Tate has women who make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year by following his instructions. So when money's involved, that's different. So you could have perhaps a sugar baby relationship where you're paying her a bunch of money and she knows you're having sex with other women, but she's not having sex with other guys. And maybe you might be able to get it longer than 9 months. Good luck, maybe. But then there's money involved. But when there was no money involved, never see it last longer than 9 months. But that means it did last up to 9 months. Some women who will say, all right, fine. And they'll kind of roll their eyes. They'll say, well, okay, I'll follow your instructions. Okay. I love you, or you're hot, or you're rich, or whatever. Okay. But they don't do it forever. They do it for a while and then they don't. And then when they don't, not if, when they break your rules, because they will, because women are not robots. Women are not angels. They're human beings. When she breaks the rules, that one of the myriad rule sets you have given her because you want control, are you going to be happy? No, you're going to be fucking furious. You're going to feel insulted. You're going to feel disrespected. You're going to feel angry. You're going to feel lied to. And you're going to go to her and say, you said, I told you not to do that. Now, when you start yelling her and correcting her, even if you don't yell at her, you start correcting, you're just supposed to, you promise, you're not supposed to. Will she say, yes, master, you are so correct. I am so sorry that I didn't follow your instructions 100%. Thank you, oh master, for correcting me so I don't make this mistake in the future, master. Is that how Western women are today? Even a lot of non-Western women. Is that how women are? No, she's going to say, well, you fucked up, and now you have drama. Okay? Now you have conflict. And as I've said many times, core concept again, you cannot experience happiness while you are experiencing drama, conflict, arguments, yelling, screaming, and things like that. You cannot. It's not possible. So you have just violated the objective of long-term consistent happiness that we alpha male 2.0s want. And that is why if you choose to control external factors, that's fine. That is one lifestyle model, but you will never be consistently happy. You will never be nearly as happy as I am or as often as I am. Andrew Tate and a million other alpha male 2.0s who are famous or not famous on the internet, who I could name and maybe you could name, or people you've known and things like that, is nowhere near as happy as I am or as often as I am. And this applies to men who make more money than me. This applies to men who are better looking than me. This applies to men who are more successful in business than I am. This applies to men who have six-pack abs when I don't. This applies to men who, name the SMV thing where they're better than me. That applies to them as well. I have met men like this who are better looking than me or make more money than me, but they're nowhere near as happy as I am or as often as I am. And often one of the reasons is because they're alpha male 1.0s who have chosen control over choosing happiness. It is not possible to choose a control-based lifestyle while still being long-term consistently happy. It is not possible. And if you think it is possible, you're living in a fantasy world. And if you don't believe me, I suggest you go try it. I suggest you go try the alpha male 1.0 Andrew Tate lifestyle of dating multiple women and friends and family and all these other people in your life you're not dating, okay? And just say, all right, I'm in charge, I'm the man, I'm the king, and you're gonna obey my orders. And watch how that plays out. Even if you manage to somehow keep these women together because you're just such a badass, watch how often you're arguing, watch how often you have conflict, watch how often your women complain, watch how often you will be concerned. That's the other part of this that I didn't bring up yet. How often you'll be concerned about what they're doing. Why is she on Instagram taking a picture with that guy? Or, it's 3:30. Where is she right now? Okay, that counts as unhappiness. I know a lot of guys like this, and I've known a lot of men like this throughout my life. These are not happy campers. These aren't happy guys. They're constantly concerned about what everyone else is doing, even if people are following instructions. Then you have the guys who go the real extreme and they think their women are cheating when the women aren't. So is that happiness? No. Control or happiness, choose one. You cannot have both. So that means then that there's a corollary to this. And that means that if you choose happiness, and not just happy every once in a while, because alpha male 2.0s are happy every once in a while, very happy, but it's up and down. If you choose the alpha male 2.0 version of happiness, my version of happiness, where it's happy consistently over a long period of time, several decades, okay, other than rare and unusual events. Well, Caleb, you can't be literally happy every time, for every day, for 10 years in a row. Right. If your mom dies, you're going to be sad. I've said this. Every once in a while, things will happen in your life, no matter how well you've structured your alpha male 2.0 life, that will make you unhappy, of course. But how often does your mom die? It's very rare to have these kinds of events. They happen, but they're unusual. They're the exception to the rule. Other than these rare events, you can be happy consistently over a long stretch of time. I'm proof of this. I'm entering into my 16th year as an alpha male 2.0, and I have been consistently happy for the past 16 years. It's fucking awesome. But the reason is, or one of the many reasons is, I chose happiness over control. So if you choose happiness over control, guess what that means? Long-term consistent happiness. Now, guess what that means? It means you're going to have to suck it up, buttercup, and let the people in your life do what they want. And I know that's hard for you Andrew Tate types. And I know that's hard for you right-wing, traditional, religious, conservative types. Well, that's not how the Bible says it's supposed to be. I understand that. Then guess what? Fine. You can tell me to fuck off, and you could go back and choose a lifestyle of control and frequent unhappiness. That's fine. It's your life. I'm an individualism extremist. I think you should do whatever you want. So if you want to choose a life of pain and suffering and conflict and drama and problems because you want to be Mr. Control Freak over other people, I'm not talking about yourself now, other people, go ahead. Have fun with it. I like to be happy. Call me crazy, but I like to be happy. Well, Caleb, happiness is the most important thing in life. I'll cover that in a minute because I know that excuse is coming. I'll cover that in detail. Okay. But that means then that if you date women, you let them do whatever they want. And your message to women under the alpha male 2.0 model is, I'm going to do whatever I want. You can't tell me what to do because I'm going to do whatever I want. And to make it fair, you can do whatever you want, and I'm never going to tell you what to do either. That's the model of the alpha male 2.0. The typical dating model is, and I've talked about this many times, is that as soon as a man and woman start to like each other, they've had sex a few times, they start to like each other. What they do, figuratively speaking, is that the man hands a woman a list of rules. Okay, you need to start doing this and this. And the woman hands the man a list of even longer. And the woman hands the man an even longer list of rules, right? So she hands him a list of rules, he hands her a list of rules, and now they have to obey each other's rules. And then what do they have? After a brief honeymoon period, they have drama, conflict, problems, jealousy, anger, arguments, and then eventually a breakup or a divorce. It's a standard model because they both choose control. By the way, it's not just men that choose control. Most women are dominants, right? I talk about dominance, independence, submissives, 3 kinds of women, right? Most women here are dominants. Guess what they choose? Control. So they have all the same problems that alpha male 1.0s have. These dominant women date these beta males, and these beta males follow instructions for a while, and then they break the rules, and then the dominant woman yells at her stupid boyfriend or her stupid husband, right? And there's drama and conflict and problems. And so women have this problem too, but I'm not talking to women right now. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you guys. This extends out to your business life. So any of the people who work with me in any of my companies will tell you, I am the opposite of a micromanager. I'm literally the opposite. I say, go do it. Here's what you need to do. Here's the dates you need to do them. Go do it. Thank you. Let me know if you have problems. I did a podcast a while back on the difference between if you had an alpha male 2.0 boss versus an alpha male 1.0 boss, one would micromanage the fuck out of you, and the alpha male 2.0 boss is like, okay, go ahead. So it's the same thing in your business. You let your people in your companies do whatever they want as long as they get their work done on time and the quality you want. That's it. You don't care about the details. You don't give a shit. You're not going to sit there and lord over them because hopefully you have better things to do. Now, that's another aspect of this. One of the many reasons why I don't want to control the women in my life is I have more important shit to do, bro. Are you fucking kidding? I have 3 companies. I date multiple women as FBs. I'm married to my beautiful wife. I have 2 children. They're grown children, but I have 2 children. I travel the world. I have a reasonably complex international 5 flags lifestyle. I have my fitness regimen. Okay, I'm exercising every day. Okay, I have all these things going on that are very important to me. Why the fuck? Why the hell would I put all of that on hold because some chick I'm dating, even if she was my wife, it doesn't matter how serious or not, even if this woman was my wife, because some woman I'm dating, I have to check my phone or check the email or check whatever to make sure she's doing what I tell her to do. Why would I do this? Why do I put all that wonderful, cool stuff on hold? Because I'm worried about what one person is doing. I don't give a fuck. This goes back to outcome independence. Again, the alpha male 1.0 has high confidence, but low outcome independence, right? I don't give a fuck. And if I did give a fuck, I would rather have that in the back of my head focused on my amazing life than pausing my amazing life and trying to figure out what women were doing or my friends were doing or my mom and dad were doing or whatever the fuck, okay? Or my employees were doing, not employees, but team members, you get my point. Why would I do this? Why would I put all that on hold? Men who are alpha male 2.0s, when they spend time and effort monitoring the women they date or woman they date or micromanaging their employees or team members or getting constantly pissed off at what mom and dad are doing, what their friends are doing. You know what that tells me? It tells me it's like the man saying to me, I have nothing else going on in my life, or I don't have enough going on in my life. I just don't. Dumb. I got a very full life, and I plan on having a very full life for several more years. I have a very, very full life. I have a lot of important things that need to get done, and why would I interrupt all that stuff just for this basic bullshit jealousy crap? That's stupid. Now, you may say, but I don't like it if women do this, and I don't like it if women do that. And all right, so here's how the alpha male 2.0 handles this. The alpha male 2.0 cannot tell the women in his life what to do. However, the alpha male 2.0 can and should state preferences. So here's how this works. The alpha male 1.0 says, don't do this. You better not ever do that again. Okay, it's a command, right? And when she does the thing he doesn't like, there's drama and chaos and problems. On the other hand, the alpha male 2.0 says to the woman, look, you can do whatever you want. I'm never going to tell you what to do. But I don't like hanging out with women who do that, whatever that is. I don't like hanging out. So if you want to continue to do that, you're more than welcome. It's your life. I'm never going to tell you what to do. But I'm kind of busy, and I have to make a judgment call on where I spend my time. And so if you continue to do that thing that I hate or is very irritating to me, I'm going to be spending time with other people and less time with you. Just to let you know. Based on what I just said, you do whatever you want. I'm never going to tell you what to do. So did the alpha male 2.0 tell her to do something? No, he stated a preference. I've done this with women. Now, I don't do this with FBs, or rarely. I've done this with MLTRs, and I certainly will do this with OLTRs. So the higher level that woman is, the more likely you are to say something like that to her. But that works. And that way, now the decision is on her side of the table. The ball's in her court. So she could decide to stop doing that thing you don't like, and then you spend less time with her, or you downgrade her, or you next her, or move on, or whatever, okay? Or she could say, all right, I like being with this guy. He obviously has a lot of options when it comes to women, because what does that say, by the way? It's a very prosperity consciousness thing to do in terms of an abundance mentality, right? Because the guy that says, don't do that, don't ever do that again. What does that subconsciously communicate to a woman? You're really important to me, and I don't want you to make me mad because I don't want to break up with you because I need you. That's what the subconscious messaging is to the woman. Whereas when you say the alpha male 2.0 thing, what does that say? Hey, I got plenty of other women, chickie, and I can go date them or have sex with them. I don't need to spend time with you. I'm good to go no matter what. So she'll feel that, and she'll say, most likely, all right, I better stop doing that because I want to spend more time with Joe, the alpha male 2.0. Now, if you say, but then what if she doesn't do that? Then she doesn't. Control or happiness, pick one. Which one do you want? Because you only get one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this is the way the universe is designed, but this is the way the universe is designed. Now, let's deal with the last topic of the traditional Christian-ish Jordan Peterson philosophy of happiness isn't important. A man shouldn't try to be happy. A man should try to be a good father and a good husband and a good Republican. And right, happiness lies in other things other than happiness. A man should have meaning and things like that. Yes, of course a man should have meaning. That's why I talk about mission. Hello, yes. If you want to purposely decide to not be happy, if you say after analyzing all this, look, happiness is not important. What's important is being a husband and a father and having children and raising those children and being a good conservative and helping to save the collapsing Western world and voting for Republicans and watching Andrew Tate videos and being a man. And if you're not happy, if you're mad a lot, if you have a lot of conflict and problems in your life, well, that's just what a man does. And a man just needs to suck it up and push through. And this happiness stuff is a bunch of hippy dippy bullshit. And life isn't about happiness. How dare you? And if you don't believe me, read Jordan Peterson's book. Great. Go ahead. If that's your philosophy, that is literally the opposite of my philosophy. If that's your philosophy, go ahead. Go choose a life of control because you think happiness isn't important. And while you're screaming and yelling and ranting and getting streamed at and going through breakups and divorces and cheating and problems and business problems and conflict in your business life and conflict in your personal life and conflict in your family life and conflict with your women, while you're having all these problems, I will be here on Dubai, working on my laptop on the beach, just did the other day, with a big smile on my face, loving life, enjoying women, enjoying my businesses, enjoying the people I spend time with, and having none of those problems. Because I view happiness as a priority, and you think it's not right or something. It's a sin or it's selfish or whatever philosophy you have. Great. Again, that's your choice. So if you purposely choose happiness, I have no problem with that, as long as you understand what you're choosing. The bigger problem is if you think you could control all these women or all the people in your life or what have you and still be happy as consistently as me. You can't. Now, if you purposely choose unhappiness, fine. That's different. That's the bottom line for this stuff. And there's many other topics attached to this. Maybe I'll talk about the other topics attached to this concept in future podcasts, but that is really the bottom line. Happiness or control, pick one. You only get one. I think you should pick happiness. That's my bias. That's what I think you should do because I live the lifestyle that I teach. And the lifestyle I live is fucking awesome. It's so good. I still can't believe I get to do this every day. I still have mornings, still to this day. I've been 16 years in this lifestyle now. Still, I have mornings where I wake up and I say, I can't believe I get to do this. I can't believe people let me do these things. It's great, but it's up to you. Cool. All right. See you next podcast. Have fun. Bye.